close the deal, baby. Let's go. I get so good with people, I can say whatever the hell I want to.
I want to say honestly, bro, thank you so much, man, for actually doing this, for giving back, for everything that you do, man. I'm ready to freaking rock and roll, dude. Let's go. Beast mode.
Hey, we going beast mode, baby. Come on, man. Everybody want to hear the come on, man. Khang, where is it? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Shit. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Let's go, baby. My God, man, I love it, man. Y'all show some love down in the chat box real quick. Khang is doing this all the way live from Vietnam, everybody. He's literally on a 12-hour time difference, and he's up, and he's ready to give us some fire today. So I really appreciate you doing this, Khang, man. I mean, the time you've left the U.S. to get back to Vietnam, what you've been able to do as far as being consistent with your content and everything else, man, is really admirable, dude. Like, I love it.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Tony, dude, when I'm with Tony, the AKA the closer, I better bring it. Otherwise, I'm going to get burned.
Let's go, man. Y'all better be smashing those like buttons, those hearts, baby. We need to see some hearts before we get this thing going. Real quick, everybody, if you haven't already, press that little button that looks like an envelope and share this with 2 or 3 friends. Let them know that Khang and T-Rob, Tony the closer, we're live right now. We need to fill this baby up. Let's go, man.
Let's go. So, Tony, I guess, why don't you start off as talking about mindset, right? Is that the first thing? Is that the first thing that we want to talk about?
Yeah, we're gonna start off on mindset, and we're starting off on mindset, Khang. I really want to let you speak on this and the reason why is I hear your story and your message a lot, and I think sometimes people don't realize like how you've come from nothing to the success level that you are right now by being consistent in your mindset. So I would really love if you could just share some of that, because I know some of my audience already knows you, but for everybody that doesn't, man, your mindset and your work ethic is just something that I think people need to hear. I mean, dude, it's great. So please, yeah, share that real quick.
Sure, man. I mean, like, you know, I came to America at the age of 9, grew up in a mud hut, super dirt poor, came over here. All I really got going for me is the work ethic. I know that's all I got. I got the work ethic. I dropped out of high school. I knew that I wasn't going to pursue college or anything after that. And I remember man, when I first got into real estate, I reached out to a bunch of people, right? Putting my name out there, reach out to a bunch of people. I got a guy respond back. I sent so many messages on Bigger Pockets to everybody on Bigger Pockets, and this one Asian dude actually respond back to me, and now we became really good friends. But I remember him asking me. He said, "Khang, how long are you gonna go at this? Are you gonna go for 6 months? Are you gonna go for a year? Are you gonna go for 2 years? How much money are you gonna invest where you said you're done? Like you're done trying?" My answer is never, bro. I said that I would not stop until I get there. I said it's not a month, it's not a year, dude. I said I would not stop investing, not stop learning, not stop doing whatever I need to do until I get there. It's the reason why is because to me, it's already proven that people that are in worse situation than I am, right? And they can do it. Why can I? If success require the word work, WORK, that's me, bro. That's all I got. Is I have the work ethic. I'm willing to do whatever it takes morally to make it happen. So the guy asked me, and he asked me multiple months. So after 2 months in, 3 months in, 4 months in, he said, "Khang," and I still haven't got my first deal, right? And he said, "Khang, when will you stop?" I said, "Bro, I won't stop, dude. You talked to the wrong guy, bro. It's only go, no stop." So yeah, man. I mean, So that's kind of my mindset. You know, when people said about cold calling, how many calls do I need to call? You need to call. You need to call until you get a deal, man. It's not about the number call, man. So yeah, man. That's it.
Hey, listen. So I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know, everywhere I go in the industry, everybody's like, dude, you're always on live. You're always on, you know, every day you show up. And I said, there's nobody else in the industry like me except one other person. It's only one other person in the industry that's willing to give people every single day, and it's you. It's only the work ethic that it takes to get what we want in life. It's only one other person that I see that's willing to put that energy into it on a daily basis. So a lot of people, they say they want the success, but what do you do to make sure that your work ethic matches your success? And it starts here. So, like you said, I saw other people that have a lot of success with this business. I saw a lot of people, for me, as a sales trainer, teaching things that I knew I had a better way that could help a lot of people. And I said, the only way I can do that is if I show up every single day, no matter if it's one person watching or it's 5,000 people. I show up every single day with a commitment that, hey, even if it helps that one person, that's why I'm here. Because what I realized, you can only do what you can do. You can only control what you can control. But what I can control is showing up every single day with the mindset that somebody's life is going to be impacted by what I give as far as value. Somebody's life is going to have a great, is going to have a better way because I'm going to say, hey, listen, I'm willing to commit, even if when it means sacrificing energy, everything, to make sure somebody else will win. And I love the fact that you put so much into what you do on a day for other people. Because the reality is most people don't realize how uncomfortable it is to stand on the camera and record video after video after video to make sure it's perfect. And to make sure that you do this on a daily basis. And to make sure that you answer questions in detail and on your emails and everything else. So it's a different type of person that's willing to make sure that you respond to every person that's reaching out for help. It's a different type of person that's okay with being up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll tell you, dude, sometimes you reach out to me and it's the time when it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for you, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for me, you're wide awake and you're still working. So I know a lot of people have success, but the work ethic that you have, why I'm okay with bring you up here with me because it's just like me. We want to win, always push other people to the top. There's no hate. It's like, hey, look, let's get together, let's build, man, and let's share this audience. So I can't wait to get the rest of the night going tonight because this is about to go down. If y'all, I don't see enough hearts right now. We need some hearts in here, baby, because we're giving it to you on a daily basis. So make sure you spam them heart buttons right now. Let's go.
Awesome, man. Tony, once again, bro, I want to say thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. And I have so much respect for you, Tony, the closer. You know what I mean? So thank you so much, bro.
Can you guys hear me? I know a couple people are saying that they can't hear me well. Let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You good? I'm good?
I can hear you.
Okay.
But the thing is, on my screen, dude, I don't know what I need to do, but I see no questions. I don't see any questions. I don't see anything. So it's going to be all up to you then.
Okay, so I'll make sure that I give you the feedback of what we see on the opposite side, okay? All right,
yep.
Cool. So first and foremost, we just briefly touching on what the mindset that you guys need to have to take it to the next level. And I always hear Khang say, are you ready to go to the next level, baby? And if you're ready to take your business to the next level, the first thing you got to do is take your mindset to the next level. And you got to start being willing to commit to, it's not I made 100 calls and I didn't get a result, so I quit. It's how many calls do I have to make until I get my yes? How many calls do I have to make before that person says, yes, come and get this house that you can put on the contract now? And your mindset, Khang, and my mindset is why we're going to help so many people that join this live tonight get their very first contract and make some money, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. That's right. So the thing is, you guys got to understand, when I got into real estate and I have people said, you have to go get a license to be a realtor. I said, dude, there's no way I'll pass the test. So no realtor for me. So I'm not going to be a realtor. I'm going to be a full-time investor. And the thing is, you guys got to understand, man, we all know it. 80% is mindset, 20% is what you do. Because we all know that in every business, every career, I don't care if it's Amazon, drop shipping, I don't care if you brick and mortar, like I don't care what it is, but you know that there's people that made it, and then there's people that don't make it. And it all really is how they think. It's how they think here. That applies to them is how they act and how they do things. They do things in a certain way to get the success that they got, and it's because of the mindset. See, so the thing is, you guys gotta understand that you know that this journey, it's not going to be easy. You know it's not going to be easy. You know you want to live an extraordinary life, a life where you don't want a regular life. So you know that you got to do things that other people are not doing, right? So so your mindset should be like you are committed. It's like you got to make a commitment, right? That you're willing to do whatever is necessary and whatever required of you.
And I say this a lot. So every day on my live, like I challenge people to get out of their comfort zone. And the mental comfort zone is where a lot of people lie. And because of self-limiting beliefs and doubts, they typically are afraid to go past that, whatever that thing is, whether it's cold calling. That's how you and I both will make so much money in this industry, because everybody's afraid to use the phone. So we make stuff that benefits what most people are afraid of. But Makiba just said in the bottom of the comments, conviction. The conviction that, hey, listen, I'm doing something that's going to ultimately change my life and help my family tree and everything else from there moving forward. I'm no longer going to be working for peanuts on a dollar, when I can now go out here and learn a business that now I can be an entrepreneur. I can control my schedule, my lifestyle, and I can provide my family with something that I never had afforded to me. And it's a lot of people that we both that follow the two of us that reach out to us all the time, and they want information. They're always getting information. But the first thing they have to do is make a true commitment here mentally, that no matter how difficult it may seem, or the challenges that's going to come in front of you, that you're willing to keep grinding every single day to do what you believe in to change your life. And that's where a lot of people will ultimately, like, before we get into talking about how to negotiate and do all the cold calling or anything else that we get into, I really want to make sure we put enough time into the stress of what the proper mindset will be to even, because we can tell you all the ways that you can talk to sellers. We can give you every phone script in the world. We can give you all that stuff. But if you don't have the right approach mentally, none of that stuff matters. Nothing else matters. If you're not willing to pick up that phone and conquer your fears, if you're not willing to talk to sellers and give those offers that are fair to what you're supposed to be doing, and back your numbers with information, and have confidence that sometimes you may or may not be the best solution, but you do the right thing every single time. So that's what we want to make sure we talk about before we really dig into how to negotiate, how to cold call, or any of that stuff. I really want to keep making sure I press a point that you understand how important the mentality is to what you see out of the successful people. You look at a guy like Khang, who now has just really grinded his way to where most people recognize what he's doing by literally every single day showing up and delivering content and working. Most people don't understand like how challenging it is to get up every single day and do that. Dude, your mindset, your work ethic is contagious. You make me want to I can't miss a day because of you, man. I'm like, come on, man, shit.
So you see, the thing is, you guys, everything that Tony said, obviously, man, I agree 1000%. Because you guys have to understand that, like, when you get into doing something, like, people can show you everything, right? People can show you everything, but it's really the mindset. It's really, really, really the mindset. Because you can go in a room full of people and you won't be able to pick out who's the millionaire, who's not the millionaire, who's the success, and who's not the success. Because it's really, the game is right here. But let me tell you guys this. Everybody can say, you know what, my new resolution, I'm going to go to the gym. Everybody can say, I'll wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym. I'll do that for a week. I'll do that for a month. I'll do that for 3 months. I'll do that for 5 months. But can you do it for life? Because you guys got to understand, this is life. Like, so the mindset shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm going to try for a month. I'm going to try for 2 months. Everybody can do that. Can you keep on continue doing it over every single day, waking up knowing that? You guys know what the hardest thing is? The hardest thing is waking up, feel like you're doing everything you can, and nothing changes. Like you wake up every single day. 30 days later, you go out of your bed and you be like, yep, I'm still in the same place. You guys gotta understand, success a lot of times it doesn't blossom on the top. It's really underneath. The root that's taking root. Your name, right? Your business name, whatever you're doing, your networking, it is going out there. When my wife and I first started, nobody knows us in our town. Nobody. But eventually, over time, it's over time. You just gotta understand, things don't happen overnight. It happens over time. And the thing is, you guys gotta understand, my work ethic is so much, man, because I go back to my country. I was brought up dirt poor, seeing people working 15, 16 hours a day, making $5, $10, $15 a day. So for me to pick up my phone call and just sit there and call for 10 hours and potentially can make 5, 10, 15, 30 G's, shit, man. That ain't no work, man. That ain't no work.
Let's go, Khang. Come on, man. Shit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah.
We gonna get Khang kicked
Yeah, okay.
out of the hotel.
Yeah, okay.
Đặt góp ý và nói xong.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Cảm ơn nha.
Yeah, you guys, they said that I'm being too loud, so I gotta calm it down. She's complaining that I'm too loud. Everybody in the hotel is complaining of this loud noise, so I gotta calm it down. So what's next, Tony? So what's next?
Hey, Khang, I know you're making wholesale to millions of money, but I don't think you want to get homeless in Vietnam. You had to go get a whole nother hotel now. Oh, man. Okay. All right. So the next topic of discussion that we're going to touch on, but before we get to the next topic, real quick, guys, show that love real quick. Let me see you guys smash that heart button before we start talking about how to negotiate with sellers. Let's see that heart pop up here real quick. We need some hearts real quick. I need you guys to be interactive, and we're going to give you all this value. Let's make sure you guys are smashing that love, that heart button real quick. Khang's energy is freaking amazing, dude. Like, man, I freaking love it, man. It's crazy. I don't want you to get, hey, Khang, I don't want you to get kicked out, man. You got to be.
I can't believe it, dude. Only Vietnam.
Okay, so we talked about mindset. Now let's talk about negotiations with sellers. A lot of people struggle with negotiating with sellers. Typically, sellers that are kind of stuck on certain numbers. Maybe they're using Zillow pricing or just some sort of ridiculous number. And before I ask your opinion, Khang, I'm just going to share my opinion, and then obviously I'll let you say your piece. So I think that the key part that most people overlook when it comes to negotiations with sellers is truly understanding the true motivation of the seller. A lot of people are so quick to skip steps to try to rush right to, okay, how much money do you want? We don't know how to best solve whatever problem they're currently experiencing. So yes, the money is going to be important eventually, but if you don't know why somebody's actually trying to sell their property and what their ultimate end goal is, then it's going to be very complicated to be able to try to provide as much value in order to make sure that the person can now get what they want financially and be able to have whatever they're experiencing be handled. Most new investors, they really jump on the telephone. They're like, okay, I know you got a property for sale on Main Street. How much do you want for it? And then they instantly, so they're negotiating within the first 30 seconds to a minute of the call. So I'm really a big believer in trying to understand what happened, what's going on that even makes you have a spark interest in selling your property. I want to know, okay, outside of the fact that you want some extra money, what other reasons are involved in why you want to sell this property? Are you on the market because you're moving? Are you on the market because the banks are forcing you because you couldn't afford your payments or you couldn't afford your taxes? Did somebody pass away? How did that impact you? What are you going to do next? What are you going to do once you move? I want to know as much as I possibly can before I start talking about money, because now if I know that somebody needs money for medical expenses, if I know somebody needs money to send their kids to college or whatever it might be, Now, as I'm negotiating with them, I can use that stuff later in my close to be able to say, hey, remember that you said that you're going to use this money for your daughter, your son, or your medical expenses or whatever that you have going on. But if you don't understand how you can best help them and it only becomes about the true money and nothing else, then the negotiation process is going to be extremely difficult. So a lot of new investors come out and they get right to negotiating, but they need to make sure they understand what's going on, what even has a seller in the market. Because if a person is in the market just to make money, then that's probably not going to be a motivated enough seller for you to do a deal with. That there's no motivation there. But if they have some other circumstances that are forcing them to have to consider being in the market, that's where ultimately they'll be able to come in and say, now I can really use you because now it's a desperate time for me. And that's the type of people that we really want to try to make sure we target and make sure we can solve problems for them.
I agree, Tony. 100%, man. 100%. Most people get into the calls. They jump into, asking about the property first, asking about, oh yeah, is there a mortgage? Ask about, hey, ask about like, hey, what do they want, right? As far as in price, they get into the pricing too quick. And I agree with you. And the thing is, for those of you who are starting out, let me share with you my personal, this is my personal experience when I first started. When I pick up the phone call, when I pick up the phone call to call somebody and to say, hey, I'm going to buy your house for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, it was so hard for me. It was so hard for me to come with confidence, because I look at my bank and I'd be like, well, I don't have that money, right? I can't afford it. So what it is when you don't have that confidence when you're on the call, it really shows you as really weaker. Like your tone of voice doesn't, it just doesn't, the phone conversation, you're not going to be able to take control of it. So I always, I like to teach people that you need to represent yourself as an employee or a partnership, but you're not the decision maker. And when it comes to negotiating, let me ask you a question. Why do we want to talk directly with the decision maker? So we can negotiate, right? We want to talk with directly with the decision maker because we can negotiate. We want to negotiate. We want to get an answer. But what if I put a wall in the middle? And the thing is, you guys got to understand, so when you called in, first of all, when you pick up the phone call to make the call to the seller, what I like you to do is prep your mind up that you're there to help out, make a deal, to help make the deal happen. There's plenty of deal out there. So many of you pick up the call, and you're so desperate to make that deal happen. Like you work it, you really try to work them, because you're trying to create a deal instead of worrying about, let's try to help the situation. I'm here to help them. If they need my service, great. We're able to make it known. Then you just move on to the next one. You gotta understand that there's plenty of deals out there. The one that you're on the phone is not the only one. That's not the only one. There's plenty of deals out there. All right, so you gotta prep your mind up correctly when you call and talk to the seller. And I always say that represent yourself as an employee or as a partnership in the investment group, because you know why? It's because when you first start out, let's say that Tony asked me something. Tony, why don't you ask me something, Tony? So Tony, why don't you just ask me something? So I called in to buy your property. Now, just ask me something that a seller would have a question to ask.
The easiest one is, what can you give me for my property?
Yeah. So thing is, any question that the seller asks you that you don't know, as an employee, you always said, Tony, that's a great question. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that, but I will pass it on to my senior reps or my team manager, and I'll get you the answer to that. But my job, Tony, is actually just to collect and gather all the information from you on the property, so that way our team, our manager, our company can construct you a fair and intelligent offer. And then what you want to do is, most of you stop. You don't want to stop. You want to continue the question because you answered that question already. Tony, unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that, but I'll pass that, right? So because when you first started out, there are going to be so many questions that you don't know. But if you represent yourself as the professional that knows about this, that do this business, and they ask you something very simple, like, let's just say they ask you something, how much earnest money are you going to put down? Maybe you don't know what an earnest money is. Or maybe they're going to ask you, so what title company are you guys going to use? Maybe you don't know. So for you to say, I don't know, I'm not sure, it's easier to say, hey, I'm just an employee. Oh, that's a great question, Tony. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that. I'm not sure exactly which title company we're going to use, but I'll get back to you. I'll ask my team manager, and then I'll get back to you with the correct answer. But in the meantime, Tony, next question. In the meantime, right, can you tell me a little about your property? Do you guys see what I'm trying to say? Most of you just answer the question and you just leave it alone. All right, Tony, your turn, bro.
Hey, we're gonna get they're literally, hey guys. So wholesale the Million family and the 100K club. It's our turn, family. We're gonna have to all make sure Khang has somewhere to sleep tonight because they're gonna kick his ass out of that hotel if he keeps making all this noise over there. All right, so I think we talked on negotiating with sellers. We will get back into some actual cold calling stuff a little bit later. I'm gonna go through a couple other things. I think everybody's asking about a cold call role play.
Yeah. So Tony. So right here we're talking about negotiating. So now my question. So let's give the audience some tips on negotiating. So when it comes to negotiating on price, how do you do it, bro?
So one of the things that's major for me is always, like I said, my fact finding beforehand. And I'll use a perfect example. I keep using it. So the other day I had a call that I put on YouTube. That was a guy that's called the aggressive seller on YouTube, how to handle aggressive seller. And literally, this is going to be a perfect blueprint of how you talk to someone who has already had other people that have given them numbers, and they're saying that they're not going to take a certain dollar amount or whatever. I always say, I understand, I'm with you. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to give you all the information. So every time you get in contact with a seller, the first thing that you say when they try to give you some sort of objection, rebuttal, or anything is to make sure you say, hey, look, I'm with you. I understand. My job isn't here to change your mind. I just want to make sure I provide you with as much value and information as I possibly can. Now, what I can tell you is I'm not always the highest, but what I can tell you is that I'll give you all the information that will provide you with a solution one way or another. Fair enough. The next thing I always make sure is that as I talk to sellers, is that I make sure I give multiple offers. I hate giving one offer. I tell anybody that starts negotiations, you should have something that you can use as far as giving true value to the seller. And I actually talked about this in a meeting today. When you start negotiating with a seller, the first thing you want to do is make sure they have a true understanding of how you can get what you're doing. So, like for me, for example, this worksheet right here, right? So you guys see this worksheet? It's the cost to sell worksheet. And in this worksheet, what it does is it says, hey, look, the national average, I put this right in front of the seller. And I say the national average, on average, just to sell their property, most people take a 3 to 5% discount. And I'll write it down in front of them. Because the key to this is to make sure people can see it. Most people like talking numbers. I make sure people can see the numbers. There's so much more value when you can get in front of somebody and write things down so where it can make sense. Because what happens a lot of time is that people will hear you say something. Say, for example, you say $45,000, for example, on a $100,000 property. Well, most people will assume that you're about to make, $35,000+ or 60. Excuse me, I can't add right now. $60,000+ in profit on that deal potentially. But what I do is I write everything down in front of them so they can see what it looks like. I'll say, hey, look, no, you can't have that sheet, guys, unless you want to get into the 100K club boot camp. That's a boot camp exclusive. I shared it with you guys for a reason, but you won't get that PDF until you're in my boot camp. But here's the thing. So I put this in front of the seller, and I let the seller say, hey, okay, so this is what we're going to do, Mr. Seller. You want $100,000 for your property? Okay, the national average is a 3 to 5% discount, just in discount on a property. The next thing you know, if you're gonna sell this with a realtor, it's gonna probably cost you anywhere between 5 and 6% to list this with a realtor. So now we're talking about that's another $6,000 on a $100,000 property. okay, you're going to have this property and you currently make a mortgage payment on it for $700. It's going to cost, on average, it takes me 90 days to sell a property. For you guys, it might take you 90 days or a little bit longer. So now I can say that's $700 by 3 months. That's an additional $1,200. Am I getting you in trouble, Khang?
You know what? The wife just got done. I'm gonna go to the room and
Okay.
I'm just gonna go beast mode. I can't control it, bro. They tell me.
So what the best thing to do with sellers all the time is to make sure you put numbers in front of them, and you got to write everything down. So when you say if it costs me $15,000 to fix carpet, paint, fix the foundation, the roofing, you need to put that down on paper where they can see it. So that's now all part of your negotiation. Most people, when they negotiate, they don't write anything down. They just talk numbers. So the person can only hear you say something that has no true validity, and they don't think you're a professional. If you want to be considered a professional, you want to put information in front of people, because people are visual. If you think about what you see in this day and age, videos and things where people can actually look at it and make sure that it makes sense to them is where you get the biggest power. So I'm a big believer in writing down every single number so somebody can see how I calculate where I'm going with my price. Then they don't feel like I'm getting over on them when I go and say, hey, look, you got property taxes, you got transfer, you got play closing costs, you got your inspections, you got your treatments, you got all the repairs, you got the realtor fee, you got the discount that you'll have to deal with. I'm going to take care of all this stuff for you. And the reason why I can do that is because I'm going to eat and absorb a lot of the costs so you don't have to deal with it. And I'm going to take care of this without you having to have that on your shoulders anymore. So here's what I need you to do. I need your initials here. I need your signature here. But the only way you can do that is if you provide some sort of information that they can understand that they're not getting robbed or ripped off, because everybody feels like they're getting ripped off. If you put information in front of them, you put a sheet like this in front of somebody to where they write down all the numbers in the property. Now, when doing that, you can completely change how they look at you and view you. They're going to now give you a higher sense of perceived value, more credibility, because what you now did is you showing them, okay, this person isn't trying to get over it, but he's showing me how he's coming up with this number, and it's not just fluff. Because a lot of people just say fluff. If you just factor in your ARV minus the repairs and discount, I mean your assignment fee, most people don't see that, right? So if you're just saying that to somebody, how do you break that down to a seller? Most people can't. The seller can't really have a true value. But if you write it down for the seller, say, hey, look, on average, most people will ask for 3 to 5% as a discount. Then you pay a realtor 6% commissions. Then you're going to talk about what you're currently paying in your mortgage, which is going to be anywhere between 90 days plus, because on average, that's what it takes us to sell our property. You also have to fix the repairs, the things that need to be repaired in the property. That's going to cost $10,000 to $15,000. If you start stacking all that up, now you can really give somebody a valid reason how you came up with a number versus just coming out here and saying, okay, I'm gonna offer you $45,000. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give you $45,000, but I'm gonna also share with you why. You get in your room yet, Khang?
Yep, I got my room, and I heard Tony. I heard everything, man. I heard everything. So everything that you just said, Tony, I agree with you 100%, man. About talking about the closing costs, the realtor commissions. That's how you start negotiating and getting the sellers to come down on price, not just based off of repairs, but based off, So I agree with you, man. Everything that you just said, and you guys got to understand too. Is I don't know what states you're in, how your excise taxes, but you got to be able to let them know that, hey, we'll pay for all the closing costs. So you got to start naming all the closing costs. So things like all the excise tax, the transfer tax, the title insurance. So basically, you make it seem like there's a list long of things that you got to pay as a buyers. But also too, you got to know all the breakdowns. So just like what Tony said, 5 to 6% realtor commissions, in my states, it's 1.78% in excise tax. So typically when, just like Tony said, when you talk to the seller, you got to let him know that, hey, if you list your product, and the thing is, when I talk, when you talk to the seller, you always make sure that, just like Tony said, have them see it and have them the one that actually do it, if you're doing it over the phone, have them the one that punched the number and give you the number. So don't be the one that said, okay, this, and then here's the number. This, here's the number. No, have them work it with you so they know, right? So they can
you want to absolutely have them involved, and you want to make sure that you can make sure they can see how this number is coming about, so that they don't feel like they're getting scammed or got over with.
Absolutely, man. Tony, am I too dark in here, bro?
You're good, man.
Am I? Is it good?
I can see you. You're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. So the thing is, so when you guys come negotiating, let them know, hey, there's no realtor commissions you have to pay. That's 5 or 6%, because they always ask you, right? And the thing is, what I also find, Tony, is that when it comes down to negotiating with the seller, they combine everything, right? They combine everything into one question. What I mean is, okay, Mr. Seller, hey, Tony, we're buying the property as is. We're paying for all your closing costs. We're paying all cash. What's the least that you can do? Listen, now what you're doing is you're taking 3 questions, you combine into one. Break it up, all right? And this is what I teach you guys in my King Kong sales script. Break it up. So the first negotiating, because the thing is, when I first started, Tony, man, I always say, is that the lowest you can go? And then you'd be like, yeah. Is that the least you're going to take, right? Because you know why? I don't know anything else to say. You guys got to understand, like when I tell Tony to drop a price, I need to have a good reason why Tony needs to drop the price. So Tony, since we are going to pay for all your closing costs to sell, things like all the excise tax, the transfer tax, and you guys got to go slow and be super clear. Go slow. Take your time, go slow. Tony, since we are going to pay for all your closing costs to sell, Tony, things like all the excise tax, the transfer tax, the title insurance, the escrow fee, and the list just goes on and on, Tony. But you don't have to worry about all that. We are going to pay for all that for you. So could you help us out by going a little bit lower? Could you help us out by going a little bit lower, Tony? Could you, man?
Hey, that's good. And something that I'm going to tell you guys is extremely powerful is I always say, what do you suggest we should do? And when I say we is I always try to put the seller like we're on the same team. I want us to be a unit. So as I negotiate and talk with sellers, I always say, hey, what do you suggest we should do? How do you think we should get there? Because it's team us. The reality is that we can't make something that makes sense. Nobody wins. So I want you to know that we're all working in unison to try to come to a common goal. And the more that you can get your seller to be on your team, the more you can get your seller to understand that you're there to help them solve a problem, and you're not a prey. You're not like everybody else that's in the market and that only wants to make money. You want to keep them involved in as far as the process. You want them to be able to see the numbers. They can itemize. They can break down and understand where the numbers are coming from. I'm going to tell you one thing that really is super powerful is information. And people very, very, very always overlook the power of giving information. People love to be informed when they make decisions. Everybody in this life can agree that if they feel like they're uncertain about if the decision is going to be right or not, they're going to be hesitant to make it, or they won't make it at all. So what you want to do is give people the ability to feel super confident that based off the decision that they're making the right one based off you sharing enough information. And I'm an information giver. Every seller that I meet, every customer I've ever had, I want to give you all the information. I'm not here to change your mind. I just want to give you all the information. And if the information makes sense to you, then obviously we'll come to an agreement and you can do the deal. But if it doesn't, fair enough. We can depart as friends, and I'll make sure that if anything changes in the future, I'd be glad to be a an asset to you, and leave it at that. I'm never thirsty. I don't need your money. I don't need the deal. What I want to do is see if it makes sense for the both of us. If it doesn't, it's okay. I got a couple other properties that I'm actually going to go look at, you know, when I leave here. So what I want to do is make sure I give you as much value as I can. I can show you this stuff and be as transparent as I can. And then from there, we can make a decision that's fair for everybody.
Awesome, man. And it's, man, oh, jeez. I'm talking with the closer, you guys. I'm talking with the AKA the closer. So let me add, I want to add one more thing when Tony said we, all right? We work as a team. So you guys got to understand. So there's one thing I want to share with you guys. Let's just say that you and the seller, you guys have been going back and forth with price. Let's just say that you're about maybe 15, maybe 20,000 apart. This is where you went and make your offer already. You went and maybe you make your final offer already. Maybe you're like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 apart, but you're not super far apart. You like the price between you and the seller are pretty close, and you have made your final offer, and the seller still say no, right? The deal is still haven't accepted. Here's where we use the word we. This is what I teach you guys. Is that so, Tony, right? So this what you do. You say, Tony, I understand that at 100,000 it's not going to work for you. So Tony, could you share with me? Could you share with me, like, where do we need to be in price, Tony, for us to do this deal together? Right now, what you guys are doing right there is you repositioning yourself as a team, as we, and you're putting that pressure onto the seller. So I'm pushing that pressure onto Tony. If Tony want to get this deal done, if Tony is motivated to sell, if Tony wants to sell, Tony needs to give me a price that's fair. So Tony, where do you think we need to be in price for us to move forward to do this deal together?
I love we. I always put the we on people, because what happens at that point, they no longer seem so combative. They understand that they can bring their guard down because they're not sitting on the opposite side of the table. And here's another nugget. I never have standoffs with my seller. If I'm face to face with somebody, we're sitting side to side with each other. We're shoulder to shoulder. It brings down their guard. It makes it easier to be able to deal with somebody, because when they're sitting across the table from you, they feel like they're boxing you. They feel like they're combative. So I literally sit side by side with a seller, because I'm telling them, it's team us. And if we can't make this deal work out, if we can't make this make sense, then there's nothing for anybody. Nobody wins. So the only way that we can make this thing make sense if everybody can agree on a common number. And the next thing that you can do, and I'm gonna tell you right now, because and what most people overestimate is the power of rapport. I build rapport better than anybody on this planet. I don't care who you are. I build rapport. So when I get very close in my numbers, I can say, hey, Khang, you remember how you told me you need this money so you can move back to Vietnam to be back with your family and help your daughter be able to get the shit that she wants? Don't cheat your daughter. Don't let your pride get in the way. Let's do the deal now, because we know that it makes sense. It's only a little bit of money, and you're headed back home. We're giving you the money that you need. We're going to be able to get you back home. Now it's time to make sure that nobody can get in the way of that. I need your initials here. I need your signature here. You put the pressure on them by using the rapport that you built the entire time. Most people build rapport, but they don't know how to leverage rapport. I build rapport as I'm asking questions to be able to later reinsert that, to make sure now somebody can't say a installed to me. So if I know that you have things that you're using that money for, and I've gathered the facts of why you want to sell your property, now when we get into the closing, we're $5,000-$10,000 apart. I can say, hey, Khang, now you remember you told me that you need to be able to get this surgery, man, and now you're running the risk of pushing everything back because you're worried about 5,000. Don't let 5,000 be more important than the 50,000 that I'm giving you, because you always want to make it about the number that they are getting, not what they're not getting. I think so many people will try to argue the fact of what they're not getting. Hey, listen, I know you would like to get an extra $5,000 to $10,000, Khang. Most people would. I would too. If I were you, I would want an extra 20,000. Why would you only ask for 5? But let me tell you something. I'm giving you $45,000, dude. I'm giving you $45,000. And if you take that money right now, you can take care of the surgery. You can take care of your family. You can move out of here now. We'll close in 14 days, and you'll be on your way, and you'll be done with it. That's what you want to do. You want to bring speed. You want to bring power, and you use the leverage. What you did with rapport building at the beginning. Now be able to be how you can say, hey, don't fuck with me, dude. You already told me you need this. Let's get it done. Let's go right now. I need your initials here, your signature here.
Love it, man, Tony. Yeah, man. So, okay. And then the thing is, another thing, you guys, is I want to add into this what Tony just said. It's always like I always talk about the walk away. Don't talk about the price. Talk about the walk away. The walk away means net to them in their pocket after the mortgage is paid off. So in my script, that's what I teach you. So I would tell Tony, I understand there's a mortgage of $100,000 need to be paid off. Once that is paid off, once we take care of all the closing costs, Tony, what I'd like to know from you is, Tony, what's the least that you would consider as a walk away net to you? You guys got to understand, listen to me. The reason why you want to talk away the walk away money and not the purchase price is because some people will take less because now they know exactly what they can do with the money. Because you guys got to understand, sellers don't buy and sell property on a daily basis. So in their head, they think of all this big closing cost that they got to buy or I pay, right? They think of this huge closing cost that they got to pay out. So they don't have a solid numbers. So they figure, you know what? I need a large amount to get everything taken care of. But when you start talking about the walkaway, people start planning in their head of exactly what they're going to do with that money. So when they know, okay, I got some bills pay off, if I got that bill pay off, if I got this X amount. And the thing is, you guys try it and let me know if it works. But I talk to a lot of sellers, a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times, the asking price of what the purchase price is way less than what they want to walk away. So what I need is when I take their walk away and I add into the mortgage, is way lower than what they said the purchase price or the asking price is. Because they start now knowing that they said, okay, if I walk with this X amount, they're happy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I hope you guys took away some nuggets just from this, talking about the negotiating with a seller. And I'm telling you, the most missed opportunity, what most people don't understand, is how you build rapport. I literally leverage my rapport to make sure I can use it later into the sales process. I know everybody that watched my YouTube video with the aggressive seller. At the end of that video, this guy was asking me about Duke basketball and Carolina basketball. I called the guy up, and he's like, he literally programmed my number in his phone. He's like, hey Tony, how you doing, man? Because I built so much rapport, so I can say curse words. I can have a very loose relaxed conversation. But the main thing that I do rapport building for is when we get into tight situations. When you get into a tight situation is when rapport is everything. Once you get into that situation where you're $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 away, and you know you don't have the money to be able to concede to the seller, this is when you say, hey, listen, hey, Khang, dude, bro, we done spent a lot of time together, man, and I'm here to make sure we make this happen for you. I want to provide you as much value as possible, but this is what I want to tell you. Don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let your pride get in the way of a great deal. I want you to think about this logically, not emotionally, because I know this is emotional attachment to you. I know this property and everything means a lot to you, but let me make sure that we understand what I'm actually providing to you. For one, I'm giving you $45,000. $45,000 that you'll be able to have in cash money. The next thing I'm giving you is I'm giving you relief. You no longer have to worry about this property anymore. You no longer have to worry about the taxes anymore. You no longer have to worry about other wholesalers reaching out to you and lowballing you anymore, because I'll be the last lowball offer you have to worry about, dude. I'm giving them all the stuff about relief that I'm providing. So now I didn't only just give you money, I'm giving you solutions to all the other stuff that you don't like dealing with. So you got to understand how you make this about the value that you're also providing beyond money, because the money won't always close the deal. Sometimes it's the other things that are impacting the deal that make sure that the seller says yes. So you want to make sure when you're talking to a seller and you build your rapport, because a lot of people say that they're great at building rapport, but the number one thing that they don't do is leverage the rapport to be able to have an open and honest conversation. I want to have open, honest conversation till now where I can say, listen, Khang, dude, I got your back. I'm going to make sure everything happens the way it's supposed to, and you got to trust me now, because I know there's been other people that may or may not have made you feel a certain type of way, but I got your back, man. Because remember, it's team us. It's we. We're going to get this done. We'll do it with speed. I'll get you $45,000. You'll never have to worry about the problems and the headaches of this property again. And I'm going to take care of all this stuff for you in the next 2 weeks. Let's get it done. I need your initials here. I need your signature here. Boom! Come on, man.
Yo, man. Dude, I love it, Tony. See, the thing, and I want to add one more thing to this, and then maybe we can move on to the next topic. I don't know about you guys, right? I don't know how you guys do it, right? But for me, when somebody say my name, it feels much more personal, and it just feels much more personal than sir and ma'am. So for those of you who talk to the seller and say sir, ma'am, like when you listen to my live call, you will see that, because I hate edit these calls. I drop their names like no other. Like you know what I mean? So to me, like when I get on a phone with AT&T or Comcast or whatever it is, right? They say yes sir, sir, sir. When they say sir or ma'am, it really feels like it's distant. It feels like I'm a customer and they're the employee. But when one time I got on the phone and this guy said, Khang, I got you covered. I'm gonna send a guy out there, Khang, to hook you up. It just feels so personal. You know what I mean? It just felt like so much more personal. So maybe you guys want to try it out and see if it works for you.
Hey,
so what's the next topic, Tony?
Hey, something that we got to be careful of. We got, I'm sure we don't have a lot of time left. I know we've already been close to an hour.
Yep.
We got the whole Instagram live on complete fire right now. I think that it's going to, you know, like somebody's phone is probably overheating right now from all the stuff that we're bringing right now as far as value, man. What y'all think? If y'all loving this live, make sure you smash that love button right now. I need that hearts. I need heart. I'm motivated by hearts, people. If I don't have enough hearts, I shut this shit down. Let's go.
Me too, bro. Better show me that heart. This shit is over. So Tony, well, so what's the next topic, dude?
The next topic is 4 minutes left. We're on the clock. We got 4 minutes left. So I think the best thing to do is maybe we restart this live and
Sure.
and I don't know how much time you want to put. I know you'll stay on all night. I'm not staying on here all night. Here's what I want to tell everybody to do real quick. So we're going to restart this live. I want 152 people back in this live right away. I want every single body that's on this live right now to log off, follow both me and Khang, and log right back in so we can get a fresh restart so we don't get cut out. So make sure you guys right now go follow Khang, go follow the closer, and meet us right back here in about 1 to 2 minutes.
So what are we doing right now, Tony?
We're going to restart it, Khang. We're going to
okay, so
I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll send you another live request.
Okay.
All right.
What up, Crystal? I got you, Khang.
Woo! All right, Tony, dude, I got about like maybe like 5 minutes. I'm sorry, man. I got like 5 minutes and I gotta bounce.
You got 5 minutes? Okay.
I got 5 minutes and I gotta roam the streets. The street of Vietnam.
So listen, Khang. I think everybody got tremendous value from what we gave them so far tonight.
Okay.
And I think what we can do is, because I can respect that you got a lot going on. You're in Vietnam. You're out the country. I think what we can do is we can schedule something that we can do a YouTube live, maybe in a week or so. We'll do like a YouTube live, because I know it's a couple questions that people wanted to ask, and I want to make sure we can give as much value as we can. I think with what we gave already, people should be able to go and crush it right now.
Okay.
So here's what I'll do. Let's make it a quick, maybe 10-minute Q&A. Can we get 10 minutes out of King Khang?
Let's go. Let's go, Bob. Let's
right.
go right now.
So let's see. So what I'm going to do, Khang, is
for some reason I can hear you now.
okay. I might have had my hand over. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay. Here's a question right here. Can you see that, Khang?
Yeah. Where at?
Can you see that response sticker that says the best way to find your first deal?
Okay.
What's
Do
your
you wanna go
opinion?
first?
What's the best way to find somebody to find their first deal?
Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right, you guys. And the thing is, here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you is something that I read, something that I watch, but something I actually did when I first started. When I first started, I do expired listing. So I called some realtor. I said, hey, you know what? If you can send me some expired listing, right? You connect that with some realtor. The best one is the one that is just starting out, the one that just got their license. They're hungry. They want to connect with investors. They want to connect with other people that are in the same field. All right. So I reached out to them. I said, hey, could you send me some expired listing? And I would take the expired listing and I would take the address, right? Because I don't want to send it to every single one of them because some of them could have been sold. Some of them could have been relisted. So I only wanted to, I get expired listing going 5 to 6 years back, maybe even 7 years back. Because you guys got to understand, 7 years ago, the market was at a different place than it is now. Most sellers still want the 7 years ago price. So that, and that's exactly what I did. And I would sit there, I would sit at my table from 9 p.m. to 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning. Because you know why? Because when you don't, it's like you either do the freeway or the payway. And the freeway takes a lot of your time and a lot of your energy because you don't have the money to spend on direct mail or you know, or maybe RVM. So I'm sharing with you what I did. Maybe at that time there wasn't even any RVM. But that's what I did. I would sit there, I would handwrite this envelope, and I would send it out. And I did that for like a year and a half.
Okay,
and,
so I'm gonna tell you guys another tip. If you have a realtor that you can use and leverage, a very powerful way is to look at the most recent discounted properties. And if you look at the most recent discounted properties, you don't want to see price changes of anything that's like $100 or $10 like that. You want to be looking for the person that dropped 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 on their property, because that means that their motivation has now changed. The market has now informed them that whatever they were recently looking at isn't the way they're not going to get what they were wanting. Maybe there's some desperation now and they're trying to really move that property. So if you have a relationship with a realtor, absolutely leverage that and get in front of any seller that you've seen that have made a significant price drop. My number one way, if I said if my life depended on it, and what I would do to find my first deal, I would jump in my car and I would drive for dollars and I would go door knocking and I would talk to everybody that property looks like it's distressed, and I'm going to ask them, how can I help them get rid of this property and solve the problem for them? Every single person that I would talk to, I'd be telling them, hey, listen, I'm trying to make sure that I can help you out right now. I know this is probably a little bit different than what you're used to, but I want to make sure you didn't miss out on the opportunity that I can provide you to give you money right now to move out of your property. And I'm doing this for the first 5 people that say yes. I'll give them cash offer. You literally just start creating something in people's head now that, oh, so it's only 5 people that you're going to give this money to. So I say, hey, the first 5 people that I can get under contract will get the benefits of this cash that I just recently inherited, and I want to make sure I can pass it off to you because I want to invest it for my children.
Love it, man. Next.
Okay, next.
Tony, yeah, so you might have to pick the question and read it because I can't be able to see anything on my end. I'm not sure why.
Okay, I'll make sure you see it. Okay, so it says virtual wholesaling. How does Khang show his buyers pics that he's never seen of a property?
How do I show my buyer's picture of the property?
It says virtual wholesaling. How does Khang show his buyers pictures if you've never seen the property?
Ah, perfect. Great question. So let's say Tony is a seller. I got me and Tony have already came in contract. Tony, would you be able to send over some extra and interior picture of the property to us? You can text it or you can email it over. All right, you guys. So you can ask the seller or you can even ask the renter. Ask them. It doesn't hurt to ask. If they say yes, great. If they say they can't, there's a company that will do it for you, and they charge about $68 or so. It's WeGoLook.com. WeGoLook.com. They go out there, they'll take a picture for you, enter extra picture, and they charge like $68. But
$68 is cheap as hell.
Yep,
you can also use Craigslist. You can put an ad on Craigslist as well.
Yep, but trust me, majority of the time, you ask the seller, or if you pay the renter, if it's rented, you pay the renter some money, $25, they'll get that picture over to you like that. Money talks.
Boom. All right, let's get a couple more in for Khang real quick. Okay, Khang, how do you make relationships with realtors or brokers as a newbie investor into the game?
Right, man. So what it is this is how I do it. I'm not saying that you do it like this, but this is how I did it. I call them up, not acting like I'm a newbie. I call them up and not acting like I'm a newbie. I call them up, act like I'm a player. Everybody wants to work with a player, man. Nobody wants to work with a newbie. Nobody want to work with somebody that don't know what they're doing. So to me, there's time when you fake it. There's time where you don't. So when I talk to realtor, I know that they want to work with players, right? They want to work with people that are players. So I call them up and say, hey, my partner and I were looking to buy a lot of properties in the area. We buy fix and flip properties. We don't care what condition it's in. I don't care if it's a tear down. As long as the price makes sense, we'll buy it. That's what I tell them. And I tell them, send me everything you got. We make offer on every single one of them. Come on, man. Show me the bonus. But yeah, so for me, it's that how you build a relationship with the realtor and tell them, hey, you know, when we buy the property, we fix it up, we'll either relist it with you. If we don't, we'll make sure, Tony, we'll get you taken care of because we're in this relationship. This is not about a one deal. It's not about a two deal. This is about relationship, Tony, and we love to work with you for a long term and for us to both be successful at this. So we love to be, you know, so we love to work with you, and we make sure that you getting taken care of, Tony. So you guys got to understand, there's always got to be something in there for the other person. And you ask yourself a question. If you are a realtor, that's been in the business, would you want to work with somebody, say, hey, I'm new into the game, man. I don't even know how to buy, like, I don't know the property. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay,
all right,
Tony, I mean, a few more minutes, man. We got to go.
Khang, I got two more questions for you, okay?
Sure.
What's your best marketing strategy?
Right now, my wife and I, you know, we spend a lot of money on direct mail. Like, you guys got to understand, is it the so you got to understand where are you right now in financially? Can you pay? Is it the free way or the pay way? You know, so we spend about 30 to 40,000 in direct mail, and majority of our leads, 90% is direct mail. Now we start to do a little bit of cold calling. We start to do a little bit of Facebook ad, and we also do PPC. But if you start out with low budget, I would go with probate, high equity absentee owner, and just consistently hit it over and over and over again. Don't expect it to happen in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Tony,
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So here's the last one for you, Khang. Market analysis. Excuse me. How are you analyzing which markets that you're going to go into as far as virtually wholesaling?
Got you, man. So the thing is, you know, this is where I share with you in my step-by-step guide how to virtually wholesale, is that I would pick a market in your backyard, price range, ARV, which is after repair value, is between $100 to $350 to $400,000. So in your area, if there's $500,000 to $1 million, don't go into that market. Go into the market that is $100 to $350 to $400,000 ARV. The reason why is because since you are going to spend all the time, all the energy, all the research, pick a market that you're going to dominate, but the market that you can make $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in one wholesale deal. It's my market. That's my market. That's why I'm sharing these numbers with you. If you're going for ARV, you know, there's market where you buy a duplex, it's $50,000 or $60,000. Most average deal that in that market is $5,000 to $10,000. You get lucky, a home run is like $20,000. But if you go between $100 to $350 to $400, a home run could be $100,000. And I'm not sharing with you because it's like I'm just throwing a number out of the blues, but I'm sharing with you because that's my market, and we're able to make on one single deal over $100,000.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, we gotta go, Tony. Take care, man. Hey. I gotta bounce.
Hey, Khang, I really appreciate you joining the live,
Yeah.
man. Hey, everybody that's on here, make sure you guys go follow and give Khang some love. KHANG.WTM. Make sure you give my guy a follow, man. Hey, I really appreciate your dedication to the business, man. The work ethic is amazing, bro. Enjoy Vietnam, and I definitely salute you, man. Hey, before you get out of here, I need it one more time, brother. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Shit. Let's go. Hey,
Let's
Joey,
go.
man, thank you so much. Honestly, bro, thank you so much, man, for taking your time to do this. I have so much respect for you, and I apologize that I got to run and hit the road. All right? I
It's
apologize.
all good, brother.
But,
Enjoy your time.
on next time. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Khang.
Ciao.